You know how Belichick loves those post-snap looks. I mean, it seems like Tommy was reading pretty well, and he's not forcing the ball again. Talk about what you saw. I know you got to look at the film again.
Yeah, no. Again, I thought he made a lot of good decisions for us. Didn't turn the ball over. We had that one fumbled snap on a jet sweep. I don't know what, 107 quarterback rating. Made good decisions. We got to help him out too. We had few drops in there and a few things that we can clean up. But his job is to do what he needs to do to help us win, and he did a good job of it.
Do you see that progress in Tom?
Absolutely.
From the Jet game till now.
Yeah, really since OTAs. But he's got a lot to work on still. He's only had 3 starts, so 2-1 I think in his 3 starts, and certainly things we'd like to do better. But it was good to get this win.
Tyrod's eligible to come back after the bye. You still want to stick with Tommy to?
Yeah, we'll have our bye week here. We'll discuss a lot of things, look at a lot of things. So over the next few days, that's what we'll do.
How big was the McKinney interception for you?
Yeah, they all were big, but X was great. Another over route that was Banks's too. So I thought Wink did a fabulous job of really scheming it up, and players did a good job of executing. So proud of those guys.
Dave, can you talk about how Thibodeaux played without Dexter in their Dexter?
Sure. Yeah. Obviously, you always miss a guy like Dex. He's one of the better players in the league. But I thought all the guys stepped up, not just Thibodeaux, but inside. Nacho, Ashawn, DJ. Riley was out a little bit, so we activated him. But Kayvon's been a leader for us. Again, I've talked about his growth for a while. I'm glad he's on our team. Good football player for us. Good leader. Good to have him.
You, in your head thinking about, okay, the coin toss and overtime when he's lining up,
Sure.
So what goes through your head real quickly? You got to move ahead, and then you see this thing go wide left.
Well, you got to make a decision on what you want to do in overtime, and then you take your headset off and go shake the other head coach's hand when it doesn't. So those 2 things.
What did you think of the way your defense played and has been playing these last couple of games?
Done a good job of taking care of the ball, or taking the ball away and flying to the ball, and proud of those guys.
How good does it feel to go into the bye on the back of 2 wins?
One more time, sorry.
How good does it feel to go into the bye week on the back of 2 wins?
It feels good. Yeah, feels better than the alternative.
Dave, there was a report pregame that you and Wink are not getting along. Do you care to comment on that? Do you expect him to be back?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest argument Wink and I have had is who has the last piece of pizza. So got a lot of respect for Wink. Done a good job. So I'll leave it at that.
Are you saying there was no truth in that?
No, I was waiting for you to ask one. No? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I thought we were getting another question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Are you saying there was no truth in that report? Candidly, I didn't see it. So
Yeah, I'd say I got a lot of respect for Wink. He's a heck of a coach. I'm glad he's on the staff. Yeah.
How about Isaiah Hodgins kind of getting involved today, getting that touchdown? He was such a big part. I know it's not last year anymore, but he's been a big part.
I think you asked that question, didn't you? Yeah, prophetic, right? Yeah, no, he asked it on Friday. That's what I was asking him. Yeah. No, he did a nice job. Ran the under route. Broke a tackle, was a big play for us. Thought a good call by Kafk. So it's the only one we had, but it was a big one. Yeah. And I thought Hyatt, so you got Schmitz, you got DeVito, and you got Hyatt, 3 rookies. I'd say all, contributed in a positive way. Got to keep building those guys and improving them.
What did you see from Hyatt specifically today?
Made plays when he came his way. Was big for us. He hit a few big ones. I think Tommy's got a lot of trust in him. Those guys are pretty close. So that first over was a heck of a throw by Tommy, and he did a great job of getting his depth and getting his feet in. They ran a start go. Got a big 3rd down on the shallow crosser. So he's making strides. Those young guys are all. This is what they got to do towards the end of the year, is continue to make progress.
Brian, one of the things that you see when you're watching Tommy play is it just looks like everybody's having fun around him.
Yeah.
Can you quantify that as a coach, and how much does that help?
I don't know if you can quantify it. I just think that I think he's got a great mentality. He enjoys himself out there. He's serious when he needs to be. He, for a young, undrafted rookie, he's worked extremely hard since OTAs, and he's made progress. Still got a ways to go. Obviously, he's only played 3 games and started 3 games, but I'd say the defensive guys, he's out there and show team dancing in the defensive huddle this week. He's got a little moxie to him in terms of his personality, but there's still a lot to work on.
Where has he made the biggest strides, in your opinion, in this short time that he's been a starter?
Yeah, I think he's played 2 good games in a row, so he's made good decisions, what we asked him to do. He's made the necessary throws. He's done his job, for the most part, the way that a quarterback needs to do his job to help us. Obviously, we want to score more points, no question about it, but there's a lot of things that go into that, too, as well. So, we just all got to keep doing our job and doing it as well as we can.
How much of an adjustment was it at halftime when they switched quarterbacks?
Not much. No, we were doing our I thought we had a good plan all the way through. We watched both quarterbacks. But I thought, most importantly was, for us to play well, and we didn't get off to a good start in the second half there. We kicked the ball out of bounds. They get the ball. They drive down and hit a couple third downs and score. But, the resiliency was good. And then, we ended up making that kick after we kicked the ball out of bounds. We ended up making a 43-yard, whatever it was, to go up 10. Obviously had some more chances to get some points on the board. We'll work on that. That's what we'll do, coaching-wise in this upcoming week.
Dave, how big of a momentum swing was the challenge when you talked about the start of the second half?
Yeah, the 4th down and 1. I thought it was obviously it was a big play. They saw that they didn't get it. His elbow was down. The guys upstairs did a great job of communicating it. Backed them up. They tried to get us off sides. That was, I think it was helpful that they didn't get the first down. No question.
Did you get a sense that they weren't going to let Saquon beat them?
Yeah, that's every week. Yeah, it's every week.
Coach, I'd argue that Jalin Hyatt was the offensive MVP this game. There's been a little inconsistency as far as getting him involved this season.
You would what? I'm sorry.
I would say that there's been a little bit.
Argue?
I'd argue that he would be the offensive
I just want to make sure we understand.
MVP. There's been a little inconsistency as far as the game plan from week by week basis. How, even past the bye week, how sensitive is it, for lack of better words, to get him more involved down the stretch as a rookie?
Yeah, I just think Jalen's got to continue to do his job. He does everything we ask him to do, and when he's open, he gets the ball thrown to him, then we make the play. Again, this guy has worked extremely hard since he's been here. He's a young player, like Tommy, like John Michael, like some of the Wandell, that we just got to keep bringing along, and those guys work extremely hard to do everything they can possibly do.
You likely might not have won without 3 interceptions, and could have lost if you threw even 1.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
No, I'm just saying, how difficult with a rookie like this is it to get in his head that you can't turn the ball over? It's easier said than done. He's not doing that.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to say you can't turn the ball over. I'd prefer to say make good decisions. So that's what we've asked him to do. That's what he's continued to do. The ball came out there on one of the scrambles, which we just talked about. It got a little rainy out, but, our mindset is, what we need to do. So be proactive in making good decisions. I don't like telling players they can't, don't turn the ball over, or don't do this, or don't do this. Like, it's a competitive game. Things are going to happen. I'd rather give them, this is what we expect from you. But that's the culture we're trying to build.
One thing he's not doing, Tommy, is forcing any of his passes. But does that lead to sometimes him holding the ball too long?
Maybe. I think you take the good with the bad on some of those, because sometimes it gives you a 50, 60-yarder down the field. Something we'll continue to work on, Russ. There's probably plays in there that we could maybe get the ball out, maybe not. There's things that happen. It happens quickly. I think he's made progress. We'll keep working on that. He's trying to do everything he can do to help our team.
Is it meaningful to you in the matchup of head coaches to win over Bill?
I'd say, look, I said this. I got a lot of respect for him. It's really happy for the players, the coaches, the organization. A lot of smiling faces in there. These guys work extremely hard. They do things the right way. They're committed to the process. There's a lot of team chemistry. I appreciate that through some tough times. So, look, we got a long way to go. We'll come back Monday night, I think, against Green Bay. But really proud of the people that, put their head down and grind and are able to fight through some adversity at times, because that's, like I've said before a million times, a roller coaster. So stay committed to the things we do and believe in one another, and do everything we can do to try to put us in good position to win a game.
So how's it feel to win your first start at MetLife?
Feels great. Any game after a win's awesome, but to be able to do it here at home for my first time is surreal. I'm going to enjoy the moment.
What was going through your head when that field goal went wide left?
Whew. By the time I got a little lucky. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Heard that saying a lot when I was growing up, but worked out for us. We got the win.
Tommy, take us back to really pregame intros. Did you expect that kind of reaction when you came out last as a starting offense?
I did not know. I didn't know until we were right there, like, you're up last. And it said DeVito, and they had the little emoji next to it. I thought that was kind of funny. But, yeah, it was surreal.
To hear the crowd that way, I mean, what was that like?
I'm not going to lie, I kind of blacked out. I was kind of just in my element. I didn't know if people were cheering or booing or what was going on. It could have been anything, but I was just locked in and enjoying it.
Your touchdown pass and Hodgins, what he did with the ball afterwards. The touchdown pass.
What he did with the ball?
Well, I mean, no. What he did to get into the end zone.
Oh, playing with his frame like he did. That was awesome. I mean, to be able to throw a maybe like 5-yard route and then see him make somebody miss like that, use his size, use his body, throw the dude off him and find his way into the end zone was awesome. It makes your job as a quarterback a lot easier.
You guys had like a high five, not really a five. What would you call that?
Everybody was doing it at this point. I don't know. I'm cool with it. It's just a vibe. It's a lot of fun. So.
A high vibe?
Huh?
What would you call it? A high what? A high vibe?
No, that's a high. No.
Well, what's the word for that?
There is no word for it. I don't think there's a word for it. Is there a word for it if you type? Usually when you type in an emoji on like iMessage, like it'll pop up. I don't know if there's like a.
At this point, I think it's the DeVito.
It might be, but we'll just keep on rolling with it.
How much fun was this for you today?
A lot of fun. It was mentioned to me before the game. I didn't even think about it. The last time I started here was in high school for my state championship, and I was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, I've played in the stadium before. To be able to actually like start and play the game from start to finish, it's a lot of fun.
Do you get a sense of how contagious the fun that you're having is to the other guys?
Yeah, I try to bring that energy all the time. I respect this game so much, but at the same time, it's a child's game in my eyes, so I try to have fun with it like I was when I was a kid, when I was 5 years old, playing with my friends in the backyard. And I try to just bring that throughout practice and every day. Just, it is a job. It is stressful. You're in all day meetings and workouts, so it's like when you're on the field, like enjoy it and have fun with it. Bring your own kind of confidence and swagger. Kind of talk about that a lot. CAF talks about that a lot in our offensive meetings. To let your personality show, and I just try to do that every play.
Tommy, we talk so much about complementary football, and the defense set up all the points. Again, how special is a win like that when you've got everyone playing on both sides of the ball, getting the job done on both sides of the ball?
It's awesome. All three units, offense, defense, and special teams, takes all that to win. Sometimes you can get away with one lacking, but today we needed all three, and the defense and special teams helped out the offense a lot.
Tommy, how about getting Isaiah Hodgins a touchdown today?
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm trying to get everybody a touchdown, right? I mean, just to see him get in the end zone, though, I mean, the way he did it, physical, dominant, and I was so happy for him.
How about Jalin?
Jalin.
What's he like as a like quarterback to receiver? What's that like with him and his speed?
Yeah, he's quarterback friendly. I mean, anybody that's that fast and can make the plays that he makes is quarterback friendly. So it makes it a lot easier to put those balls up for him. But he's just a special individual, a special player, route runner, whatever you want to call it. And he's a confident dude. He talks to me, he's like, I'm going to go get this ball for you. Like, we call this, I'm going to make a play. So it takes a lot off my shoulders.
Do you think it's sunk in that you just beat Bill Belichick's defense?
Not necessarily so much. I mean, I said it earlier in the week, like, I respect him and everything that he has brought to this game. He's one of the best, if not the best coaches to ever come through this game. But at the end of the day, he was not on the defense playing against me. His team was. He was coaching them, but he was not actually on the field, so I didn't think about it as so much of that sort.
Tommy, you've been sacked a lot of times in the first couple of starts, but that's something, a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL don't win games getting sacked a lot. You've done that. While you have won games for the New York Giants, specifically 2 straight, what are some things you could do to ready up your pocket presence a little bit more? Is it a communication thing with the O-line? What's the story there?
It's more just getting the ball out quicker. There's give and take with all of it. Some of them could have been some coverage deals. I just got to make some more plays. start running a little bit more, maybe a little sooner, getting the ball out of my hands, using some throwaways more. It's all stuff I want to be able to watch every snap that I've had so far during this bye week to be able to, reevaluate myself and learn from it.
What do you think's waiting for you outside here?
I honestly don't know. I'm about ready to get up out of there, though, and go check it out. But I know my family's out there, so I'm going to be excited to see all them. I had a lot of friends and family here, so I'm just excited to see everybody.
What was the final count? Do you know?
I'm not sure. It was over 100. I don't know if it was as crazy as that preseason game, but there's a lot of people here.
There's been a lot of focus on you being a great story. I mean, are you happy that people might be talking about you now as a good quarterback?
I mean, yeah, I think it's a respect thing is what it is. I mean, I'm going to go out and try to prove myself every single time I step on the field, whether if I would have been drafted #1 overall or undrafted as I was, you need to go out and prove yourself. That status and all that doesn't really mean anything, but how you go out and play means something.
The more people talked about you for all the things that didn't involve football, is this extra satisfying to know that your football is now getting that attention?
Yes and no. I'm not really an attention seeker, but more eyes are going to be on you, so it's going to be more criticism always, like always. But I'm just going to continue to go out, do what I do, try to lead the team, score points, and win football games.
Tommy, how's going into the bye week with a win like that?
Oh, it's awesome. It's a good, you'll be able to really decompress, relax a little bit, but then get back into this next week, but really just enjoy it. I mean, to have 2 back-to-back, really, we're starting to get some real energy back, get some swagger back across the team, so I think it was really important to get it, especially for this bye week.
Xavier, 3 takeaways for this defense after 6 last week. What is going right for you guys to be able to make so many big plays like this?
I think just execution, doing our job and trying to make plays. And, we're trying to win the game, so we're trying to do whatever we can to put us in the best position to be able to win.
There was so much talk during the week that no one knew who the Patriots would have at quarterback. How difficult was it to prepare for multiple guys? And then what did you see from the 2 guys that you wound up facing today?
I don't think it was really difficult. We were just preparing for whoever was going to be in the game. We knew who they had at quarterback. We knew the different quarterbacks. But for us, it's all about what we do. It's all about how we execute and how we can go out there and be able to play aggressive and be able to make plays. So regardless of who the quarterback was, we weren't really concerned about that. We just wanted to worry about what we were doing on our side of the ball.
You had one veteran in the defense. Adoree Jackson comes back, makes some nice passes defense, but you also lost Dexter Lawrence, which was a big hurt. Somehow you guys were able to still grit out a win.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, we always need those guys, out there on the field with us. Deck, whoever it is, we always going to need them. But the most important thing is for them to get healthy, and they'll do that, and they'll get back right on track, and we'll be good.
How nerve-wracking is it to have to watch that last-second field goal that they wound up missing 5 left, allowed you to hold on?
I felt like he was gonna miss. I think he was a little nervous. I was trying to talk to him before he actually kicked it. But it was good to see him miss it. It was good to see us, get a win and play how we play. So overall, it was good.
Jalin, getting over 100 yards receiving in any day for a rookie is a big deal, but you did it with 3 huge chunk plays and almost even had a 4th. Yeah. What was it about today that went so right against their defense?
Just preparation. How we did it in practice, just seeing their secondary, knew we could get some big plays on them. And not only that, I think Coach started trusting me more. So it was a great day for us.
We all talk about Belichick disguising defenses and giving rookie quarterbacks a lot of trouble. On those big plays, was there anything deceptive about it, or did you and Tommy just read it correctly?
Yeah, Bill Belichick, obviously a great coach, and appreciate you, fam. Obviously a great coach. We knew they was going to come in disguising a lot, but for us, Tommy played a great game. He checked when he needed to check plays. He read it right, and I'm just following him. He's a quarterback, so the plays that he was calling when he was, in the huddle, what we were saying on defense, it worked out for us.
When he looks for you, the ball always seems to be right there. How much of that is timing and chemistry that you guys as rookies were able to develop by able to throw to each other for some time over the summer?
Yeah, we started in rookie minicamp, then OTAs, training camp. So, for me, I wasn't really with the ones starting off, and me and Tommy was with the 3 starting off. So we kind of built chemistry off that, just off the, during the off season, going into the season. So, but at the same time, it just goes to our preparation. Tommy had a great game. It all starts with the quarterback. For being in the league. So I'm very proud of him and what he has done. But for us, we got to keep going.
It's all about opportunity. Slayton was banged up coming in, didn't get a lot of snaps today. How much was the wide receiver room aware of that and that you guys would have to step up in his absence?
Yeah, Slay, one of our better players on this team, and he was out just a little bit. He was limited, so for us as receivers, we knew we had to step up. One of our big guys is out. I knew I had to step up personally, and the whole receiver room did. So proud of our guys, proud of how we executed, but we just got to keep going.
Kayvon, let's start with the fact that impact plays, tackles for losses, sacks, forced fumbles, you just seem to be a specialist at that. They continue to happen week after week. What is it about your knack to do it?
I just got to keep going. It wasn't the best day for me pass rushing, and you got to find a way to impact the game in other ways.
They talk all the time about having to establish the run, and at times they did run the ball. You guys didn't have Dexter Lawrence in there, but you made the stops when you needed to. What was it about those key moments?
I give credit to my guys that stepped up. From Jordan Riley to the interior. I mean, even Jihad had 2 sacks today, and that's in pass. But talk about a run. He's stuffing in, letting guys like Bobby and Micah, run in and make plays. So big shout out to them, and we keep building together as a unit. We're going to be unstoppable.
The 3 takeaways again after 6 against Washington last week, man, that is a very big spark to what you guys are trying to do.
Yeah, man, we're watching film. Guys like Bobby and myself, the safeties, they're getting in together and they're watching the film and they're breaking it down and they're becoming a family on the film tape.
All right, what about their quarterback situation? We talked all week. We didn't know who it was going to be. They wound up with Jones and Zappi in there both. How much of an issue was it to prepare for both of them? And then when you got both of them in there, was it rough at all to have to make the adjustments?
Nah, definitely not. I think we just prepare for the scheme. Obviously we know Wink has a great understanding of their head coach and play caller, so we were able to, scheme up the team, and whoever was going to come in was just going to be interchangeable.
Now, what were you looking for in the last drive? They did get into field goal range. They missed the kick. Obviously, that makes you happy, but the fact that they got so close, I'm sure, gave you a little nerves.
We got to stop the run. We knew that last drive they were going to try to run it. They got it kind of like the 50, 45-yard line, so, we knew that they were going to try to go for a field goal, but we just had to bow up and fight the next play, and, they missed it. So,
thanks, Kayvon.
Are you mentally thinking, all right, we're going to go into overtime here as they line up for 35 yards?
Yeah. For the 35-yard, I was talking to us like we got to start with defense. I was getting guys ready, knowing that we were going to go back out there for, overtime.
I mean, you don't mind not going back out there?
Oh man, it was a blessing. That was God's gift right there.
What's the feeling around the team now? 2 straight wins.
Trying to keep the momentum going. Can't get too high, can't get too low, and just understanding that it's week at a time.
We reported earlier today that there's tension between Brian and Wink. Do you sense any of that?
No, I don't really know where that came from. I know nobody else said it, so I don't really acknowledge stuff that doesn't come from inside the building.
Were you surprised at the end they didn't go for a touchdown at least once or so?
Yeah, but they kind of got a different game plan. So, they played the game how they played it, and we were able to get a stop.
You say you don't acknowledge stuff that comes from outside the building. What would you say the atmosphere is like in here?
I would say it's great, man. We're building. We understand that we started off slow, but when you get one win in this league, you got to keep that momentum, and just keep playing together.
As a defense, what do you guys think of Wink? Obviously, if that did happen, and you lost him, how big a loss would that be?
How big is saying hi and getting that start for you guys? How big is that affecting you guys?
Yeah, seeing Jalin Hyatt play, he's a ball player, so I'm happy that he finally got some things going his way.
Kayvon, how would you characterize the way the defense feels about playing for Wink in his system, that kind of thing?
Wink is a great coach, and I feel like we love the way he calls the game, and as long as, we continue to play hard, he's going to keep calling it the way he's calling it.
Is there something true to having a nose for the ball? Or do you just, you have interceptions, you have forced fumbles. Is there something to that? Or is that just a hot streak?
No, for sure. Instincts are a big part of this game. And I think Wink does a really good job of letting me play to those instincts for sure. Shout out to one of my former running mates, but, Shaquille Leonard, I got to watch him firsthand fly around, get forced fumbles, interceptions, fumble recovery, so I'm doing my best Maniac impression.
Do you have the feeling that was a momentum changer with your interception?
For sure. Obviously, return was big, but just the energy on the sideline. I know our offense feeds off us, and we feed off them.
What's been the difference for you guys as a defense? And you've been creating a lot of turnovers recently, but that didn't happen early in the season.
Yeah, it's always a going and growing process. I think Wink's done a great job of just seeing what calls work to our strengths, giving us opportunities to play with instincts in coverage, and we mix it up with our blitzes and everything. So he just does a great job calling the game and putting us in position to make plays.
Bobby, going back to the impact that you've had, you came from a different system. Did the game have to re-slow down for you again, if you know what I mean?
For sure. I had to figure out where I could, take my shots and make my plays. But I'm getting more comfortable in the scheme. Wink's done a great job bringing me along. Same with Coach Egg. So just getting more comfortable and feeling a lot more confident.
You mentioned getting a second, Bob. How close were you to getting a second?
Pretty close. I felt it stick in my hand for about a second, but I probably should have gone with 2. It was a bang play.
You mentioned Shaq. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you what your reaction was to see him get released this week. And I don't know if you saw he was at the game actually today in like a suite.
No, I didn't see it. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that's the league we play in. It's a tough business, and yeah, things like that happen. But he's obviously a legend. I think from 2019 to 2021, he was arguably the best linebacker in football, and I got to see it firsthand. So I definitely learned a lot from him.